printing also. So we've talked about the color types that we have from RGB to CMYK, and we got to understand that RGB are screen colors, what we see on our screen. So currently, right now, as we are designing right now, the colors you are seeing on my screen right now are RGB colors, even on your phones. So RGB portrays the color on your screen, but for printing, we use CMYK, and that works better. All right. So in this session, we'll delve into advanced techniques for creating various print materials like flyers, business cards, and letterheads using the CorelDRAW that we're using. So these materials are common in graphic design. So mastering them is crucial for your design skills. Right. So let's say you know how to design a flyer. It's going to be easy. It's going to come easy for you whenever you want to create any other kind of flyer. Right. So you know these steps, as like for example when we did this, when we do introduction to layout design here. So if you follow the pattern, you will realize that making this most flyers are similar, right? And one of the best places to help yourself when starting out designs, want to make flyers or whatever, you visit Pinterest. So Pinterest.com, I think that's the best site for mostly maybe flyers. If you're talking about logos, there are other websites like Behance, um, Dribble, and stuff like that. But for flyers, this is your go-to. All right, so you can just Google it or type it right now, Pinterest.com, so that you will get to see other designers and their own work. So as a designer, it is not advisable that you just put on your computer and start designing. No, there are various steps that we take before we start making a design. First of all, we have the communication aspect where we get to understand what the clients wants, right? And maybe you talk to them via phone or via WhatsApp or whatsoever. And when you understand what they are saying, then you make research, right? So when you make research, you can now say, okay, let's get into the design, right? So you can't just fly and just start designing, right? You need to like make some research, get to understand what this client actually wants you to do. Then when you understand what the client wants you to do, then you can make designs. All right. And like I said, you can either use Google, you can use Pinterest. So for resources like images and stuff that you want to use in case the client doesn't provide you with their own photography, we can also visit freepik.com, and we can download images by typing the name of the images that we want. Can create an account with them also. So I have an account with all these websites. So they allow 10 free downloads a day. I think that's for free pick. But if you're using the premium account, you can download unlimited. Then you can also generate using AI tools, right? So there's an AI tool I use also to generate images that I want. That is image FX. How don't I have this here? So image FX, that is AI test kitchen. So all I need to do is put in prompts and I can generate images. Maybe if I want like African images or stuff like that. But most times you might not really get the kind of pictures you want here from FreePic. So I use image FX sometimes to like just type in a prompt. So if I say image of a Nigerian, let's say maybe you need a DJ on a plain white background. Right, so I will get the image here. So the reason I put plain white background most times is because I would most likely trace out that image and use it in my design, right? So if the image comes on maybe some normal background, it might be very, very hard for me to like trace out the image, and makes the job more harder. Right. So we just try to like make our work easier by using most of these AI tools. And there are still more AI tools like remove.bg, which helps in removing backgrounds of images. You can just upload images here and it removes the background just like that. And you can use the image in your design. Well, here is the picture I told this guy this didn't show. So let's create it again. Let me see. So there are tools like this. Even in free pick, the pictures you want to download most times, there's also an option to like trace out the background. But we're still going to like introduce Photoshop. Oh, they couldn't generate. Let me just say image of a Nigerian young doctor. Let's say driver, because I think I'll be using that today for the flyer I want to make. So it creates 4 variations that you can use and you download it. I just obviously image comes up. I don't know why the first one didn't come up. Maybe because of the prompt. So another website I use for removing background most times, if I don't want to use Photoshop, it's still an Adobe product. They say Adobe remove background. So Adobe remove background. So if you Google it, I don't know, the name don't normally come to my head. So this is a place. If you upload a picture here, it removes the background, and you can download, and it's free to use currently. I think later on, right? You see this. So you see that it gives us various image. So you need to be like at least very, very good with your prompts for you to get like actually what you want. So later on, when we want to start our design, we'll come back here and make some prompts. So let's get back to our page. All right. So I want to just check if we are still recording. All right. So page down. So I'll be using, I think, one of these logos or whatsoever for our flyers today. We're not. So designing flyers. So what are flyers and why are they important for companies? So flyers are one-page promotional materials used for events, businesses, or organizations. So it might be for a church, it might be for a mosque, it might be for an hospital, it might be for a school, it might be for a bank, whatsoever. Everybody needs a flyer design, right? So either digitally or as a printed material. And in the age we are now, most companies make digital designs more, right? So digital designs, which means that you wouldn't need to print, but if it gets to printing, we are still there, all right? So you learn to create high-catching and informative flyer design. So practical, design a promotional flyer for maybe an upcoming event or maybe a business. We'll work on layout, typography, and graphics to create a visually appealing and informative flyer. All right. So let's use this. Which one? I'm looking towards this DriveMe. So we'll use DriveMe. It will be like, so this DriveMe is just like Uber or Bolt. So before you make any flyer, right, for any clients, you say, okay, after a designer, we need a flyer. You are supposed to ask for if they have a brand guide, or if they have a logo, or their color variations, right? So this helps you in knowing what color you have to use. So remember when I talked about color and how it works with brand, how it keeps a brand together. So for example, we have DriveMe and this is their color. So whatever design we want to make should be around this particular color, right? So we wouldn't be drifting away from it. So, like I said, as we've gotten the information, do we even have enough information I want to put on this design? Another AI tool I use most times is the Meta AI, right? So I can tell the Meta AI to come up with content for uh what do they call this thing? Is it private taxi or what? Come up with content for flyer design for private taxi. Taxi is a brand. Let me just put it like that. The name of the brand is DriveMe. All right. So since we don't have a client, you can use AI tools like this, and they would give you information that you can use inside of or look at. Content is so long. Don't even need all this. It's too much. Drive me, your personal ride. Tagline: safe, reliable, convenient transportation. A sleek, modern taxi or a happy passenger. Right. So airport services, airport transfer, city tours, events. So these are things we can put inside of our design. Professional and courteous drivers. Book now, add a book. Then if we have a, it's too much. Let me see, just the content, and it's too much. I think this is okay. Personal ride, safe, blah blah blah. So maybe this is what the client sends to you and you have to use for your design. So let's just copy the content so that we don't need to come back to WhatsApp anymore. So I'm going to place this text here. So drive me, we already have the logo. I guess that's their tagline at the top. Email, websites. So now we have the informations that we need. And we can just go ahead, get a picture, or and start designing. Right? I might do that, but for the sake of this class, we're going to, since we have read the brief and understood what they want, and here's the logo. All right. So the next thing, I'll see. I think here they told us the kind of thing they want here. Image suggestion. So we're going to take the image suggestion also. Suggestion they gave was for a sleek modern taxi or a happy passenger. So you might, if you want to practice, let's say you don't have a client yet, you can use Meta AI or ChatGPT to come up with briefs like this and use it and practice and start designing. So consistently, you would get better. So the next thing I want to do now is we'll make a research, right? So I will make research on taxi brand flyers, if they are even here. I'm not really sure. So you would see all these various kind of design that people have made, and you can get an idea from them, idea from what they've done. I think I like this, but can't really use this for what we want to do. This is another good design here. So most of these designs are here. You can just save them, copy, and bring it into your PC and come up with your own idea, right? So this research most times take very, very long time. It take very, so it's not something that you just jump into and you are done. So these are like social media designs for a particular brand that somebody did. So you can see various kind of styles of designs here. All right, so let's go back. If you click on anyone, you can download, right? You can download by clicking here, say download image, or if you don't want to download, sometimes I just copy the image and go and paste. But since you are still making research, you might be seeing more and more and more that you might want to download. So instead of just copying, let's just save. Keeping comment me. Okay, let's continue. The internet went off. So I've gotten these two images. You can still get more. You can spend a lot of time here on this particular one. So I want to check this. If I click on this one, you can see other images down here, just like this same one, right? So, but this is not the picture our brief gave us. So let's go back and copy this. Let's say a sleek modern taxi. So let me try with image FX. Forgot to add with the driver. I think with the driver would have been better. So before image FX load, let's try it also in with a driver on free pick also. Oh, this rain that's falling now is causing this. I think these are good pictures. I don't like here. She's not okay. This one is smiling. I just really need driver or somewhere that is smiling. Let me get back to the content. Let's see what's in that content again. Reliable or happy passenger. Is this one loaded up? That's the problem with AI. This AI have pictures sometimes. Huh? I think I prefer these ones. There was this particular one where the driver and the passenger was showing at the same time. But his head is cutting off. And you have a lot of options, so you can make extra ones. But I think I'll go with this one here. Please load. Stop slowing us down. That might actually be the only picture I might even download here. Let's just reload. You people are not plenty in this class, and I don't like it. That's one of the reasons most times I don't like to record these classes. Because they will be like, and the class will be recorded now, so they will watch videos later instead of the live class. Oh God, why is this network doing me like this today? I'm trying getting into my phone. Now transfer to the PC. Okay, I've downloaded my image. So the page size I want to use, I'll bring this one to the side. I'll use 10 by 10, just like this. So whether you're using 10 by 10 or 11 by 11 or 12 by 12 or 20 by 20, I basically still like the same size. So if I increase this stuff to here, you see that it's basically like the same size. So if you notice on this design, you can see that their logo are there at the top, right? And the logo color and it's seen all over the design, right? So the same way we are going to apply to this design. So let me import the image I downloaded two, right? So whatever one we want to use. So I might not basically even need to trace this, right? So I'm going to power clip this inside here. I'm going for a different style entirely, but we're just going to look this for like inspo mode. So I'm dragging into power clip inside. So edits, and I'm going to make this bigger, right? As big as I want. Let's get back here first. I'm looking for the one where she is like in a box. Hope you're seeing now. So I prefer this box one to what we had here, but let me make this thing bigger first in case it doesn't work as I want it. So here is DriveMe, right? So there are two ways I can go about this. I want to use our logo. Let me duplicate it and place here. Shift page up. We can rotate this whatever we want or this way, right? So down here, as we have our logo at the top here, the next thing are informations that should be on the design, right? But before that, there's something I want to do. I want to duplicate this logo, make it bigger. Let's see. Taking it inside the content and pasting it there. Oh God. All right. So we have here as your personal ride and transportation. So I'll use the same text type. So we've been using Gilroy. Let's use white. Let's see if white would come out well. Personal ride, save. we can see that the text there is not really visible. So we'll do something about that, but not now. I'll reduce the spacing between them. So what we need is that area needs to be like a bit more dark, right? So I'll go in and try something out. So I'll copy this color, fill it in here. Let's see if I add it to the background. This is even worse. So you also know you just okay, that didn't work as I planned. So I'm going to use transparency instead as fountain transparency. So I don't want it to be on that logo side, right? So I'm going to like change the perspective of the color. Let's see if I can mix this color together. So F11, remember I told you how to mix two colors already. So that the two brand colors will show on the design. Let me see how is that coming out. So these ones, I'm not going to use them anymore. I'll change it to an airline, white airline instead. And increase the airline a bit. No, it's too much. Should be on top of everything. Shift page up. Don't want it to cover our face so much. And the airline is, I think, a bit too much. So I'll convert this airline to an object. So I've told you about this already. So objects, which is making airline become objects or outlines turn into an object. Create outline to an object. So now I can now transparent them. All right. I'm not going to leave it that way. I'm going to make it a bit transparent using the uniform fill. Very transparent. Let's say to 80%. I think 80 is not showing at all. Let's see 70. So when we're done with that, we'll check how it looks like. All right. So I'm bringing this down. And we are reducing our logo small. Small. It might still be changes later, but let's just stop with what we have here. So I'm changing the color of the logo here. I think the green is not showing properly. We are allowed to do that when designing for brands. That is if you have the logo rationale where we show the client that they are able to like change the colors in some circumstances. This gradient is not really gradient as I want. Let me do some things there. Oh, before you go, you want for the road to. Yeah. So we're going to put like their services. So I'll use a box here. So we can choose to use white also. We can choose to go back to the green or yellow, but if we are using that here, it won't show well, right? Another color we can use is black. Something that can really show this stuff they are doing. I want something like a consistency. So I would be making this box have like the edge of this stuff here. So I weld them together. Well, before you go, give me one for the road. We'll use very bold one. I don't know, but this black is not, it's not blacking me. I don't know why. Okay. Uh, Sorry. So I'm going to use something different now. We'll click on this and use back minus front and make this white. Yeah, I think this is better. The spacing in between is too much, so I'm going to bring this here. Let's reduce the box size. So hold them together and you click back minus front, and we have something like this. I can place this here. So now I would use them like this, Control X. For this one, we'll use like a semi instead of something that's too bold also. I'm going to reduce it to like the regular white. It's going to just be white all through. They're just going to be white in everywhere. And look for medium. I think it's too light. So for their bullets, I don't know. I'm not so cool with this arrangement here. I can use the logo icon as the bullet also. Oh, before you go. So I can break this apart. Control K. Make it in many form. Right. So use E to make sure it's aligned. So we are done with that part. Then down here, let me just give this in an airline. So you see that there's this space down here. So down here, we'll put our book now, call numbers and stuff. Then the social media handle here. I wouldn't be using all this stuff. I'll use maybe an icon to represent them. But let's cut it out first. So for the phone, you can actually Google for icons here. Let's see phone icon. When you get it, copy the image or you download whatsoever and bring it inside and you can use it. Convert to a vector. So let me try that. I think I've not shown you guys how to convert images here to vector form. Let's say, for instance, we downloaded this image. Let's save it first. So that's a PNG image. Let's say I imported this and I want to use it in my design. All I need to do is bring it here and then trace. So if I outline trace, yeah, I have different kind of trace. I say high quality trace. I think I've done this before, sure. Trace like this. I will say okay. Right, then delete the original. Then we can break this apart on group objects. Right, the phone is there. So you can use the phone there if you want. Right, there's another way. There's the phone icons here. Well, if you click on Control F11, you can go to what we call web things here. So it is like a font, and you can select icons from it also. Right, so there are mail icons, phone icons, everything in there. So if I search for web things like this, okay, this is not the right time for me to slow down. This, so you can see a whole lot of icons in here, depending on what you want to do. But most times we don't use them. So this is a phone icon also. You can make it bigger and use as you want. And mail icons here, like this one now. All right. Enable a web icon, whatever. But if you prefer to go this way, you can see Google. Let's see, mail icon. So you see a lot of images that represent email. So you can use anyone, like the same way I saved before, you can save again. So if I say save image, or you copy, You can also write web. See that? So it's very, very easy. You can also design it yourself if you want. So they are not really, really hard to make. If you look at when we created vector images, you can also try them out and design yourself. So the same step, detailed logo, I like using that one. So if I say delete the original image so that I don't have to stress over that again. So you ungroup this image most times, delete the other items that are inside. We don't need those ones. All right. So we have our web icon also. So you have to, most times it comes with the white shapes inside. So we can delete those ones also. It's not that you should delete them. All right. So the first stuff we have there is the icon for phone. You can place them on their own, but most times I prefer placing them in a box. So I'll make this box 0.2 by 0.2 also. So we can make these boxes the color of the brand also, meaning that this phone icon that I'm placing here will have to change to white. Well, it's raining here. Like, I hope it doesn't affect this internet. So these boxes here now, I would have changed the edges to look like rounded edges. But the reason why I'm leaving it sharp edge, because if you look at our logo icon, we have like sharp edges. We don't have rounded, so it's kind of because of consistency in the design. Way to put this one here. And the only thing remaining now is this social media handles and stuff. So the social media are kind of like the same as DriveMe. I'm just going to use a DriveMe for everything. So what we need is Facebook, right? The same way we Googled, we can Google Facebook, we can Google Instagram. Which other one is there? Twitter, Instagram, and there's for the Instagram you can download or you can choose to also design it yourself. It's most of these things are basic stuff you can make. If you had followed all the instructions we had given or practiced how we have been taught to design stuff. Right? It's not too hard. So most of these icons that we download, you can also make them if you want to, right? But if you say you want here, you can say, okay, let's get the Facebook icon. You go to the image section and you see various ones, right? Then you download if you want the actual one. For where mistake people make most times is if you download this icon now, right? Yeah, you have this logo. You're now going to download a Facebook that have blue color, and you know that the brand color you're working on is green. So you're supposed to download, convert it to a vector format, and change the color to match with the brand that you're working for. As simple as that. So X icon. This is the new Twitter icon, or I should still call it X. All right. So import that, three of them. So hold shift and select all. Import, import, import. So trace quickly. Okay. You can see there's a white stuff there. So most time check for this. There's most time there are white stuffs there. Trace also. You can see the F. F is rubbish. I have to improvise and use our own F here. Even though it's not looking like the main Facebook. But anybody that sees it will know, okay, it's Facebook we're talking about. I'll just convert to cover and maybe tilt here. Most times you might not notice this thing. This F is not like this F. So it's advisable to download the main Facebook stuff most times. I trace this one too and it's not looking nice. All right, so the name is at DriveMe. So there's no point repeating it over and over and over again. I'm just going to put at DriveMe for all their social media handles. So that's one nice thing. If a brand is using like a special name that no other person is using, it makes them able to like use the same name on every social media account, and their clients will be able to like access them easily. I'm thinking of take this one up here. There's one more thing I want to put in this design because you can clearly see here that 10% for first of our ride when you download our app. So meaning they have to be like how to download. I want to place download on Apple Store, App Store, and Google Play Store. So there's an image for that also. So these two images, you might have seen them most times on some. I don't like this site. It's looking somehow. Google.com, please. Download App Store on App Store and Google Play. Yeah, this is where Wahala dey. This people they will show us plain background, but the background is not plain. Okay. Oh my God. Let me copy instead. Let's see. Okay. So I'll trace this one. So here's the original and here's our fake. So I'll ungroup this. So we can actually delete what they have there. And draw our own box. All right. So the first stuff there was get it on Google Play. So you can actually Google and get like the actual one that looks sharp, but in case you don't, you can improvise most times. So you can see the fonts are kind of different, right? Well, it's not an issue right now. I think I'll prefer a field color. This one is always download on the App Store. All right. Bye bye. So we can now take this here. Uh, trying to get a hook of all this.
You made a mistake. All platforms.
Yeah.
Like,
Uh, He's full on up. I think I might have to move this upwards later. So this white here, nice. It's still looking as if we can't read it properly. So the best advice we can do here is to give it a little shadow at the background. So we'll go here and drop shadow to presets. I'm going to look for a small glow. I'm going to change the glow to like this dark background here. And make it Gaussian, maybe a bit close to his body. No. Let's check it out. I think the shadow here is too much. I'm going to reduce it. Like 70, let's say 60. I don't want to finish. So we have to make sure that everything here is aligned with the ones down here. So I'll check with R. Yeah. So here's one poster. I think we're done with this one. And we'll make another one. Yeah. So this one wouldn't really like carry much information. Just enter. So I'll make it fit it. And all I'll do is I'll just go in here, copy this background and the pattern. Because for everywhere we are designing, we have to like have like a consistency of that color everywhere. I'll place it here. So I have to rotate this stuff this time around. So now it's the copy that will be problem. What am I going to use as a copy here? Let's just say what am I thinking for when I have let's say simple copy for the private company. Let's see what is going to come up. No, no, no. Simple copy for poster design. What? This guy is not even understanding what I'm saying. Give me a simple copy for a car service design that offers ride to their clients. Simple. Ah, okay. Let's use this option 4. So get driven with DriveMe. This copy is not really catchy. Let's use this one. Drive me your right partner. So I'll break this stuff apart. We'll make this 2 bigger. You see, simple and straightforward. Now, single social media icon is not working here. It's not working there at all. Let's bring it down here with these other ones. This is better. Okay. So posts like this can be printed out or they can be used for social media designs. So if you realize we followed the patterns we've been teaching about in design, which is consistency in design, following the same kind of font, the kind of color we should use. So we didn't really have problem in selecting the color for the design. How and why? Because the brand already has the color, right? And their color, which is green and this orange, right? So all we need to do is just tilt it, change it in different ways, and create a brand pattern. But we have not yet taught you guys what brand patterns are. Later on, you get to understand what brand patterns are. So something like this is like a brand pattern that we created from this their icon, right? So that in every design we are making, you're going to like see this pattern in every kind of design. So it kind of ties their designs together. So either it's on their social media or on their branded. So flyers are one of, like we said, one of the most important aspects in design, right? So we just created a promotional flyer for this brand, DriveMe, right? And you see how it came out. So various way of making design. So most times it just depends on the copy. So when I mean copy, I mean the content that the client offers you. So you saw when I wanted to create it first, I didn't know what to put in, right? But I had to use ChatGPT to come up with, or Meta AI to come up with the content that we're going to place in the design. So design in most times is very, very easy. That is if you understand the rules. You won't need like too much stuff. What you need most times are clear pictures and the content you want to put in. Sometimes if you might make a design and you might not even have a picture, right? So it might just be just simply plain background all through. It might just be a white background completely. I don't want to make more. It might just be straight background completely, or even just filled up with, let me see. Let's copy this stuff. So it might just be this will just be edit copy properties of this. Or my fill here with our power clip. So we can edit this stuff. Let's go to F11. So we can change the flow of how we want this thing to look like. I can use, I think this, can rotate it like this. Let me see other styles. So let's use this. Let's see extra colors. Oh, ah, let me see. I'll copy the idea. I can just use white all through. This color is not really showing how I want it to. I have an error. Let's just keep to this. But anyways, something like that also. So I can just create like a good background outro. I don't have much time, but that's already taking so much time. So the next thing on our list here is creating a business card, right? Creating a business card. So business, if you can
Sorry,
create, yeah, talk now.
sorry, please. Okay, yes. The first flyer, I know you drew a box to begin the thing, but the photo didn't cover the entire place. I was wondering how that happened. I think I missed how I thought it was a box, then the bottom is like white. Wondering how that happened.
Here's what
Something I
happened.
missed.
So there's a box here, right? And the box size is 10 by 10. Okay. So I imported the picture, right? I will place here. The next thing is to power clip it inside, right? Then edit. So I increase it to the extent where I want and stopped here. I just stopped here. So since I stopped here, if I should give the box color white, there's going to be white underneath it. You
Thank
understand?
you. That explains it. Thanks.
All right,
Yes,
yeah. So
thank
that's
you.
so um another print material that is very vital in design is making business cards. Right? Business cards are fundamental tool for networking and brand representation. So we'll explore how to design a professional memorable business card using this tool. So we're going to develop a fictional business card. We're just going to do one because we still have when we start doing branding for the logo we are going to design from now. So I want you guys to think of something. I think I think it should be our next class or the class after that. We'll start talking about sketching of logo, how to come up with a logo idea. It's not that as I came up with these logos now in class, it's not how easy it is to come up with it. So the reason I could do that was that look, I already have ideas in my head most times. I could just come up with stuff like that. Right. So you can start thinking of maybe you have a business or a business name. So you can also start coming up with just the name. And when I come up with a name, and I sketch and I show you, I will do all those and create the logo. You can use that same idea. Maybe use that business name for like your own idea. If you don't have a name, you can use ChatGPT and come up with a name and you work with it that way. But first off, you're going to learn how to make proper and good logos. So we said business cards are fundamental tool for networking and brand representation. So we are going to develop a business card. So what is the first thing you need to know first off is the size of a business card, right? So if you know the size of a business card, then you have solved the first problem, right? A business card is 3.5 by 2 inches, right? So 3.5 by the width and 2 inches by the height. So if I say 3.5 by 2, I think that's the height. If you're not sure, you can still Google it, right? You can see size of business card. See it here. I think that's 3.5 by 2, right? That is basically the size in inches, while in pixels is 1050 by 600. So whatever measurement you want to use. So millimeter is also good for measurement, but I just prefer using inches, right? Because it helps you all around. So the moment you have created the box and made it 3.5 by 2, this is where you now understand what we mean by vectors are scalable, right? So if we have made this size, we can now easily make it bigger, right? You can make it bigger on your page and make your designs. So the first thing is to create the size and then make it bigger. So that's why we said if your computer is not that fast, that's why we prefer using inches or maybe millimeters. So let's say you want to design something that a very big size, yeah, and maybe you measured in feet. So if you say feet, let's say the feet size is let's say the measurement you made, the feet size is 2 by 2, right? It says 2 by 2. Now, the moment you have gotten that size, you can easily go back to inches and then reduce the page downwards, reduce it very downwards, and make all your designs here. So when you are done, you can send it to the printer and they blow it up, right? So that if you have a system that's not very, very fast, right? But here, what we are designing is a business card. So there's no point even selecting a big size, 3.5 by 2. We have that. So now we can't see this so small. If we want, we can just say, okay, to selected, and we'll be seeing only the page size, the we just drew. But if not, we can fill the whole page and make it big, right? I have one here. I'm going to duplicate it just because of front and back. All right. So I'm going to make it come to the center. Control G, I've grouped it. Click on P. All the page will come to the center. So what we need for this design, basically, you already have everything here. We need the logo, right? A business card only has logos, phone numbers, email address, web address, Facebook. Sometimes they don't even put the social media, right? The most important, because it is very, very official. So some people make the mistakes of putting pictures in business cards, right? Don't try it. If your clients should ask you for that, you give them a professional reason why you're not supposed to do that. If you Google, like Google is your friend, just Google business cards, professional ones. If you check images, you see how business cards look like. Somebody that is selling shoe should not put the shoe in the business card, but you see some clients will tell you that put it. I want them to know what I'm doing. No, so it is an opportunity for you to educate the client and also make extra profits, right? So instead of putting their shoe on the business card, you say the better thing for you to do is to make a flyer. So for example, instead of putting somebody that is driving a car in your business card, we can make a flyer for you, right? So flyers are meant for promotional purposes, right? Why business card? For like giving out information about you. So basically, it's your name, the phone number, where your company is located, etc. Right? Nothing more, nothing less. So let's start. So we'll take our logo. Let me take the original logo. So we'll be trying out two ways in designing this logo, all right? We'll try out two ways here. So let's do the first one. I'm just going to only take the icon alone, bring it down here, make it so big like it is. Make sure it's at the center, right? So like I said, business cards. So in a company, the person who has the right to have a business card is the person that has the business, all right? So workers have what we call ID cards. So ID cards are different from business cards. That's why business card don't have pictures. So it's the business owner, right? So that means the name of the business, whoever owns the business, needs to be on the design also. All right. So let's see. So who is our, let me use my name. So I want to use like the most bold one. I'm going to use black. That's the beautiful about black and white. So without even telling you, black and white have rights to enter like most brands. Well, so who is Joshua in this company? Let's say he's the founder and also he's a driver. Right, so you see, we just applied hierarchy here. So the name is of more importance to us here. So we made it more bolder than this one, even though they have the same font size. So here we have my name and my row. I think I'm going to still reduce this row a bit. So I'm going to make that row have the color of this. So what we need next is phone number and stuff. We have them here already, so there's no point doing it again. So you can just copy. So that's one of the most advantage if you are the one working on a particular project for a client. You might not even need to be editing all over again since you already have everything. Let's try something here. Mm. So this is all we should put here. Then I think the place of the business, right? Location. Since we don't have that anywhere, I want to increase the spacing in between them. So location icon, you can Google that if you want. I think we should just do it. So yeah, I'm going to draw a triangle. First draw a polygon, then convert it. Then I will have a circle here. Prefer to use like something that has equal size. So here we have this, right? The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, or you can copy Control C and Control V. Reduce it and bring it to the center. So to be sure it's at the center, hold the two circles together and click E and C. Right. So we have to weld this together. So if I hold this big one and the triangle, I'll click on weld and they become one family, right? And this one can simplify them, or you use back minus front. All right. Should we use airline instead of inside fill? I think I'll do that because of most of them are looking with airline. I think we will change this font too. I'm going to convert the outline to an object also. For this phone, I'm thinking of removing the inside color and just making it have outline instead. Yeah, so because of uniformism. Okay, so that's all here. Then at the back, we can either mix two colors or who's that? So you mix two colors, or you just use like a uniform fill all through. So my go for that, just make the back green completely, right? Then we can just place our logo at the back also. Make it all white. So business card is not something that should really stress you. I'm going to just add something extra here. Take this. We'll reduce this like this. I'm going to make this one a bit more smaller. Make sure it's at the center, like this. All right. So you can basically leave this like this, or you can still go extra mile, like I like to do. So we're going to take this stuff we did here, the brand lines that are here, and bring it inside this design. All right, it's going to add some. God of Israel. Okay, we are back again. This question, I hope you have seen how I power clipped it before. Now, edit. So you know how we use color eyedropper to copy colors. You can also click on the object and say edit copy properties from fill, and we say yellow. Right. We can also use that as our color eyedropper most times. So I'm going to power clip this inside again. So power clip is already something we all know already. So place it inside, power clip inside the object, and it's going to be there like that. Edit power clip. You can move the item until you are okay with where it is. So I want to duplicate this, bring it here, and see how it's going to look like. So I'm cutting that out. We'll bring this inside here. Let's go in. Control V. I'm giving it a black color so that you see it. I'm going back inside again, no, not now. Because of to copy our color, I'll copy the logo. So I'll ungroup the objects. This one at the back, edit copy properties of yellow, and this should copy green. So I just made this more transparent in here. So I selected them and I click on my transparency so I make it to level 90. Because if you leave it shiny, it's going to overshadow the design itself. Basically, you can stop here. If you want to still go extra mile, you can still draw maybe a little box down here. And let's then we can copy this color, fill it in. So since this has like an arrow edge, can create an extra node, move it forward like this, remove the airline. Then we can duplicate this. Make this one white, shift this up. If I duplicate again, I can have this one to have this color, right? So where is that white? Shift page up. So you see that. So just to like show the consistency of this. But if we don't want to use that, since it's not looking proper there, I can even use the logo itself and just stretch them. Just hold on, don't kill me. Here's one style we can go for. So you see, I just create two borders. So those things are like borders. You can leave it this way. You can use another form, right? Or the previous one I just did. I think we'll just use this one. So inside of this, I'll paste it also, and this one will have to be white. So this is basically a basic business card you can make, right? All we did was using the brand patterns and the color, right? So we're going to take this one upwards. Maybe I should make this background black, so that everything can pop out. So there are various ways you can make business cards. You can also Google and find other ones. I think I'll just stop with this one. So the final thing on our list here is letterheading. So we want to treat flyer, business card, and letterheading. So letterheads are used for official business correspondence, right, by companies to send to their clients, right? Their clients say, I think there's one thing missing in this business card. So we can just put the social media handle at the back also. Yeah. So the letterhead that I use for official, like we said. So we are going to focus on incorporating the logo, create a balanced layout, and ensuring the letterhead meets our printing specification. So letterhead in most times the size is A4, right? So all letterhead is mostly A4, or maybe you are using letter or lega or maybe tabloid. So to get the actual size we want, right? I'm going to do something. I'm going to like create a new page. I think this stuff here is not working. Yeah, let's leave it like this. So the letter heading, like I said, is A4 size. So if you click Ctrl N, open a new page, so we can say A4 inches and okay. So if you double click your box, this is the size of a letter heading. So I just came here so that I can just copy the box, Ctrl X, and go back and paste it here, right? So you can see that it's even bigger than our page size. I'm going to make this page a bit bigger, small, 13. Yeah, so that's it's going to accommodate everything I'm doing. So you can see that I'm the one that is just increasing my page. So this is like a custom size. So what you're going to do here, which is not going to be too hard, is just to copy our logo first off. And one of the best things is that since you already have a design for the business card, it's very, very easy to go. What to do next should not even really be like too much problem for you. So you might just copy what you have in here. Right, and then power clip it inside here back. As simple as that, right? So we'll just put here then the these lines can make it bigger. Then the only thing remaining is maybe if you want to put that social media stuff, make sure they are aligned. All right, so we're going to duplicate this. You can put it down here, or can just put them as beside each other, pam, 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 straight on a straight line. So whatever one works for you, you do it. Oh, I forgot to change 14 Apple Drive. Let's see. Okay. So you can leave it this way, or if you feel that the text is too clamping, you can move this two out this side, bring this one down. So I have to check if this one and this one is aligning. I'm going to ungroup this group group and align it to the left group, also align to this one to the arm. And they are looking too big. I don't even lie. So use it like this. So to height, let me make our background black. No. All right. So here's a business card. I needed a heading, and then we have two flyers, right? So without the logo, we cannot design this. So whatever merchandise or whatever we are creating for this particular brand, we're going to stick to these colors, right? So whether they are printing a shirt, they are printing merch, cups, whatever branding they are making. So these are what we have to talk about. Colors. We have to talk about their font type. So if you notice, the font we'll be using has been Gilroy, right? It's just from the same font family. We can't like mix up audio fonts. Despite what we want to write, all we need to do is find the one that is bold and use it as the bold text. Find the one that can be used for the body and just do that, and you make designs easily. But when making the design, you have to put in mind all the rules we have talked about: alignment, white space, balance. So you see me as I've been making all the design, I've been checking out for all this, checking if my text are arranged, even to the most tiny details of even this stuff. When I had to change this to be an airline. So we are talking about consistency here in design. So if you really want to be good with this, you need to practice, right? So I believe most of us here already have our softwares. Try to catch up and meet up, right? So that every day you can follow up with the new stuff we have done. So this is like our assignments for today. This business card and this letterheading. So you can select any one of this, either DriveMe, this, or this, anyone you want. So that's if you're using Toku, so it has to be about a chatting app, right? So you have to like using a phone. This one, Love Room, I think is like a podcast where they talk about love, and book club for readers. Or you can just follow the simple way and follow me and make DriveMe also. So with this few point of mine, I have come to the end of today's class. So we'll be seeing again by tomorrow. So please be on time. Be on time by that 3 o'clock. And I don't know why people are
I
not.
wanted to ask a question.
What is your question?
So, there is this course that has been held by this company that's organizing this particular graphic design course, and they said
Okay.
if you have the DSP whatever, you pay 50% off. So now I'm trying to understand, now that we've not finished this DSP EP course,